stand up and repeat the Toastmasters motto?
वो तो नहीं करते हैं बोले
For better thinking, for better speaking, we learn by doing. Take your seats. Assalamualaikum, my name is Shariat and I am an engineering graduate. I have been a part of Lahore Toastmaster Club since 8 months and right now I am preparing for civil services exams. That's it. Thank you.
We have 2 new guests with us. Please introduce yourself. Please come forward. Please come forward. Because you are late, so you have to come right after.
So my name is Salman Azim, and I'm here for the talk whatever is happening.
Okay.
So let's see what's happening.
Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm Mohammad Asad Javed and same answer, I'm here for the talk, for the activities, that what's going on.
So would you like to share how did you come to know about this class?
Yeah, my dear friend Abdul Haq.
Okay. Great. It's a chain reaction.
Yeah.
That's right. So please have your seat and enjoy it. So now I'll hand over the charge to the president of this great club, one of its kind in Pakistan, not just in Pakistan but in Asia.
Yes.
And so please, in a huge round of applause, welcome Toastmaster Ahmed Abdullah.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. And I feel very, obliged that you all are here today. This club, as a Toastmaster club, is not only teaches public speaking and leadership, but it focuses on people who have stammering issues, or they have language and other speech impediments. So be patient, I must say. Because here it's like I have started Stammer Talk for like 8-9 months, and since then it's a total new experience for me, because each day I'm learning new things. The first thing I learned was the acceptance that I stammer. I have this thing with me. This is something not bad, or I should be ashamed of, or feel guilty or sorry. This is who am I. This is with me, and I will be like this. So I have to learn to live with this and to feel proud with that who I am. And the second thing in this journey I learned that is to be patient, not only with stammerers, but with other people too. Because normal people, if they don't have stammering, they have other issues. So the acceptance is not only for myself, but is for them too, to accept them who they are. So this journey is on the way, and each day I feel very motivated, and I'm thankful to Allah for choosing me for this work. And to start and in today's meeting we are lucky that we have so many DTMs here with us, and the first speech that is going to be by DTM Masood Saeed. And, Sorry, I forgot. This is my first time doing this role, but hopefully next time I will do much better. Yes, to start the meeting, I would like to invite General Evaluator, Mr. Noor Khan.
Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, today I am the General Evaluator for today's meeting. As a General Evaluator, I will evaluate everything that takes place during the meeting with more than 2 eyes and more than 2 ears. And another responsibility for me is to conduct the evaluation segment, where experienced Toastmaster will evaluate the prepared speeches. And as very much clear by its name, generally I have to evaluate, and besides myself there are many other team members in this process. Because I am the head of this team and there are other Toastmasters besides me who will play different other roles. For example, grammarian, timer, counter, word counter. So this is a very important leadership role. If you want to improve your critical thinking, if you want to improve your team building skills, your time management skills, or holistically if you want to improve your leadership skills, then you need to stretch your comfort zone. You need to stretch out of comfort zone, come out of that, and accept and play these very important leadership roles. So now I will call upon the other role players as well. In this regard, I will call the grammarian first. So please welcome Toastmaster Abdul Wahab.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today I am the grammarian of this meeting. As the grammarian, I have two major duties. First of all, I need to enhance your vocabulary. For this, we have a word of the day. A word of the day is the word that we use throughout the meeting as much as we can. For this meeting, the word of the day is tenacity. Please repeat with me. Tenacity. The ability to stand up again. Relentlessness. It means relentlessness. So whenever you get a chance, use this word. Second thing, I'll also note the use of grammar. How was grammar used through the meeting and how we can further enhance. And at the end of the meeting, I will present my report. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wahab. The next role player is our counter. And for this, I will like to call Romana. Please,
जो मेरा रोल है वो आर काउंटर का है। मैंने आप लोगों के जो फीलिंग वर्ड्स है मैंने वो काउंट करने लाइक मोस्टली हम लोग कन्वर्सेशन में ये वाले वर्ड्स यूज करते हैं। दैट्स ऑल और मैं एंड पे अपनी रिपोर्ट प्रेजेंट करूंगी।
Thank you. Good memory. Thank you, Romana, Toastmaster Romana. The next role player is timer. So I would like to call Toastmaster Zishan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noor Khan. I am Toastmaster Zishan and today I am performing the role of timer. There will be 3 sessions. In the first session, there will be prepared speeches will be delivered by the prepared speakers. And for the ice-breaking speakers, the time allotted is 4 to 6 minutes. For the most of the other projects, the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. Then the second session would be table topic master session, and the time allotted for every speech would be 1 to 2 minutes. And the third session would be evaluation session, and the time allotted for every evaluation speech would be 2 to 3 minutes. So for the minimum time, I would raise the green flag. Like for the prepared speakers, the minimum time, if the minimum time of that particular project is 5 minutes, then I will raise the green flag at the minimum time. And at the midpoint, I will raise the yellow flag. Like for 5 to 7 minute speech, the midpoint is 6 minutes, so I will raise yellow flag at 6 minutes. And like for evaluation, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes, so minimum time I would raise green flag at 2 minutes, and 2.5 minutes I would raise yellow flag. and for the maximum time, I would raise the red flag. Like for the prepared speeches, the maximum time, most of the times it is 7 minutes, so I will raise at 7 minutes green red flag, and for the table topic speeches, I will raise at 2 minutes. I will raise this red flag, and for the evaluation session, I will raise red flag at 3 minutes. So I will present my report at the end of every session, and once I will tell you that these speakers are qualified for the voting, then you can cast your votings at the end of that session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Last group player is the vote counter. For this, I will call Toastmaster Shahya.
So, as a vote counter, it's my duty to distribute balloting slips to all of you. As you all know that we have 3 different sessions. First is prepared speakers, and then we will go with the table topic master and best evaluation sessions. So you all need to vote for the best evaluator, best prepared speaker, and the best table topic master. At the end, we will collect that slips and announce who is the best evaluator, best prepared speaker, and the best table topic master. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shahya. Now, with this, I will hand over the charge back to the Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Abdullah.
Now guys, the session of the prepared speeches is going to start, and in this session the Toastmasters will present their speeches. Some are new. There are a few members who will give their icebreakers. Today, some have started their journey. There is second or third speech. Some members are on the advanced stage. So, to start with, I would like to invite DTM Masood Said to come on the stage and
thank you.
To present his speech. He is DTM in the legacy path. Now he is going to start his journey in the pathways. So for this educational system, he is going to deliver his icebreaker today. So
evaluator and objectives.
yes, and the
Title of the speech.
yes, the title of the speech is ups and downs of life, and the evaluator of the speech is Mr. Zishan. So the main aim of the speech is to introduce one's self, to have to feel the connection with the audience. So give a huge round of applause to DTM Masood Said.
Thank you very much, and I will start from the beginning, and the beginning is when I was born. When I was born in a city called Jhelum. I think it's about 200 kilometers from here. In the year 1948, long time ago. Can you believe that? I don't, but that's the truth. So when I was born, my parents were very excited, because I was the first son of their family. First son. Oh, very excited. So my mother used to feed me a lot, and I became very fat. And my mother used to tell me that I would win prizes. She would take me to a baby show, and then they would put me on a scale and weigh me. And because I was the heaviest, they would give, oh, well done, you got a prize and all that. Now, my father was in the forest department. So we traveled to many places. I remember Mihawali, same place like Imran Khan. And it was very hot. I remember there used to be a lot of, andhi jaise kehte hain, sandstorm. And there was kind of a sandstorm which was called Kali Andhi, because everything went dark. Then after that, very hot season, we went to Quetta. Oh my God, it was so cold. And it was very difficult to ride when we went to school, and we would get frost bites and all that. Then we came back to Rawalpindi, so it was better. Then Muzaffarabad, and then finally Peshawar. So by the time I got to Peshawar, I was already in intermediate, and I had joined Cadet College Hassanabad. Now in 1965, when I was 16 years old, my father passed away. Now he was not old, he was young. He was only 47, 48 years old, and that was very tragic. And he just slept at night, and then in the morning he was gone. So that changed my life a lot. My mother and I had 4 brothers and sisters. So we had to leave Peshawar, come to Lahore, stay with my grandmother. And there were difficult times, tough times, financial, and otherwise also. But by the grace of Allah and some relatives, they helped us. So we went through all our education. And after doing my FSC, I joined engineering. I always wanted to become a mechanical engineer since childhood. When I was a child, I'll open up things like watches and things like that, see what's inside, sometimes reassemble them, sometimes not. You have to assemble something and then you have so many parts outside. But that was my passion, to become an engineer. So finally, I became an engineer, and then I started working. And my first job was, a place called Kala Shikaku, near Lahore. There was a chemical factory, a lot of chemicals, caustic soda, bleaching powder, sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, these kind of things. So I worked there for about a year, then I said, okay, it's a bit too much. And then I got a job in Pakistan Railways. Oh, great place, Naukar Chakar, this, that. So then I went, I didn't like it, the culture was not so great. So I went to National Refinery, then Exxon, and then Middle East. So 24 years I spent in the Middle East. So after 24 years of being outside, I came back to Pakistan. And then I started on my own. I said, okay, now I'm retired, I should do something on my own. So I did some certifications, and then I started teaching. So I teach project management these days, certification course. Now, in 2008, I formed this Lahore Toastmasters Club. It was very difficult, people were not coming, it was difficult to get it. They didn't understand what is this Toastmasters. They thought it was, toast and eating breakfast or something like that. But finally, after 3 months, we got it chartered, and last year we had this 10-year anniversary, and it was great. I never thought we will reach 10 years of one club. And now we have this Ravi Toastmasters Club coming up, and also this one coming up. And it is just, springing up from that club. And it gives a very good feeling to me. Now, on my family side, I've got 1 wife and 3 daughters, and 9 grandchildren. So it's a good family, very big family with 9 grandchildren. I go around, talk to them. The oldest is 15 years, the youngest is 2 years. So it's great to be with them. Now, in future, what I'm going to do is I continue but I'm going to increase my portfolio by adding more subjects. For example, Scrum, and then of course with this DTM, I've started this DTM again. It will take me maybe 1 year, I don't know, 2 years or something to get through this. But for this, I want you all you people, to help me get through this DTM, because this time is going to be difficult, because I am very old now. You know? And today I was trying to remember this speech, and I kept on forgetting. I said, oh, what's wrong with my mind? I've got to, come back into action. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was DTM Masood who introduced me to Toastmasters. So it's due to him that today we are here at this platform. So thank you, sir. Thank you. So now the second is the speech is a beginner speech, and Mr. Tahir will do the ice breaker, and to start his journey in the Toastmasters community. So please. So this is his first speech, like the previous one. In this speech, the objective is to introduce oneself and to break the ice, to have the connection with the audience. So, Tahir, thank you, and
Evaluate.
yes, and the evaluator of this speech is myself, Ahmad Abdullah.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today I am delivering the first speech of Toastmaster, which means icebreaker speech. My speech consists of 3 parts. One part introduce myself, and second part my hobbies, and third part is this is the last part is my aim. Let's start my first speech of icebreaker. To introduce yourself. My name is Muhammad Tahir Wahid. I was born in 11th September 1996. Now I am 23 years old. There are 8 people in my family. My father is a lawyer, and my mother is a housewife. Me and also a lawyer, engaged in tax consultancy profession of 2 years. I have 3 younger sisters, 1 younger brother. Me and my 2 sisters are married. So let's start the second step of my speech, my hobbies. Hobbies are very important in every person's life. Without hobby, life is nothing. I have variety of hobbies, like watching movies, listening song, or collecting tickets, etc., etc. Now move on third part of my speech, aim of my life. Without aim, the life is nothing, pointless, useless, and unless. My aim, I become a civil judge because I love this profession very well. So many professions in the world, but I love this profession because I love its punctuality, greatness, and so many things, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Tahir, for a nice intro and to start your journey. in the Toastmasters community. Being a stammerer, you have done very well, and your speech was very fluent. Very nice. So moving on, the next speech is a advanced speech project by Toastmaster Mustafa Khan. Please. And this speech and the title of the speech is Our Journey, and this is a advanced speech project, and the evaluator of the speech is DTM Atif Irfan.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to recite the objectives of the speech.
Sure, please.
This advanced speech project number 27 means that this is 37th project of the from the speaker. So that's a great experience of reaching so far. And the objectives are to learn the elements of a good story, to create and tell an original story based on personal experience. The permissible time is 6 to 8 minutes. All the best.
Dear Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, today I am supposed to tell you a slice of life from my own personal experience. I've wanted to share a story which has got a bit of emotion in it. I wanted a sense of excitement and a sense of exhilaration. I wanted to share some of my fears and some of my heartbreaks in life. And at the top of it, I wanted to share some of my growth and triumphs of life. I thought, what should I speak about? And then I smiled. I found my story. And today I'll be telling you the journey of my chartered accountancy. Ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't a good student beyond my 9th class. Up till 8th, I was kind of a topper. But then, everything nosedived. I lost interest from my studies. I did my FSC in mediocre grades. And frankly, I didn't know what to do with my life. It was a cold evening of January probably in 1993 when I was having a not a cold coffee, but a warm cup of coffee with a friend of mine whose name was Ahmed. And while communicating, Ahmed told me that my mamu is a chartered accountant. So I looked at him nonchalantly and said, what is chartered accountancy? He told me, look Mustafa, chartered accountancy is something that if you do it, you get paid more than the engineers and the doctors. And then I looked at him. I was all ears. I was attentive. He told me about what chartered accountancy was, and then he just communicated that after FSC there is a new curriculum coming within the CA, and you can enter into CA after FA, and there is an aptitude test happening after 2 weeks. So if you are interested, so go and give the test. I gave the test. I passed it. But I entered into a new dilemma. No one in my family knew anything about CA. So 2 of my uncles were interested to just probe what the CA is. One of my uncle came after 2 days and stated, this is a fraud, this is a scam. He asked a friend and he told that look, CA जो है वो तो graduation के बाद होता है, so FA के बाद तो कोई CA नहीं होता. I just took some time and just explained to him that look, and I just presented certain documents to him explaining that look, it's legitimate. Another uncle of mine, he came up with certain things and they were legitimate stuff. That look, after FSC, if you start doing your CA, the passing percentage is 3 to 5%. It will take you 7 to 8 years or 7 to 10 years, or maybe you may never be able to complete your CA. If you are not able to complete your CA after 10 years, you will still be an FSC. So that was a legitimate concern. However, I had the exuberance of youth. I took a stand and my mother was with me. She sided and told my father that, look, let him do whatever he wants to do. And that was the beginning of my CA journey. So March 1993, I started my CA. But in the first hurdle, I stumbled upon. Within 3 months, the first internal examination, out of 20, 12 people flunked because we were the guinea pigs of ICAP, the governing body. So the internal examination that they presented was too difficult. So I remember once I got the failure result, I had the tail between my legs. I just came to my home and told my mother, "Mother, I failed." And it was very difficult for me to just even meet my friends, meet my relatives, because my self-esteem was deeply hurt. I just remember that I went to the principal and I just asked him, please do something so that I can continue my CA. And I can remember, he said, look, Mustafa, this is the right time you have failed, because CA is not for faint-hearted. So you're not meant for doing CA. I was fine. I just got home and just, I couldn't do anything. So I just start researching about that, okay, what next to do. However, I got lucky. Someone amongst the failures wrote a letter to ICAP that, look, this is what has happened to us. And ICAP came up with an alternative, okay, you can join the next batch. So my CA journey kind of rekindled. So that was 1993, November, December. After that, there was lots of ups and downs, highs and lows. In 1995-96, I joined Ernst & Young. And eventually, in 2002, I qualified as a chartered accountant. Now when I look back, I do realize this fact, that those 9 years, how much they have helped me in my personal development. That was the baptism of fire probably I needed to strengthen me. That was a period that made me what I am today. And that is the model of today's communication for all of you guys, especially the people, especially the stammerers. Never give up. I've been saying one quote at many places that what doesn't break you makes you strong. Have the courage to come to the podium. Just face the world eyeball to eyeball. And I would like to conclude my speech by stating, no pressure, no diamonds. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a very heart-touching and amazing speech by TM Mustafa Khan, and he explained all his journey and his struggles, and that is also a lesson for us. And our next speech is also advanced speech project from the legacy educational system in Toastmasters, and that is going to be presented by Toastmaster Ali Amjad. So you round of applause for and your speech will be evaluated by DTM. Oh, okay. By DTM Iftikhar Taj. Yes. And
Sir, if you could read the objectives
yes.
of this, can I help you?
Recognize the characteristics of a toast.
Yes.
And now you need to help me.
Present a toast honoring an occasion or a person.
And the participant time is
2 to 3 minutes. Yes.
Yes. And the title of the speech is an inspirational leader. So,
Thank you. Friends, inspirations are like chain reactions. You get inspired, you inspire others, and the reaction goes on. Just like we say, life goes on. I joined Toastmasters in 2012. It was January, and I became a member of Lahore Toastmasters Club. And guess what? I found my inspiration the day I entered that room, even before joining. And who was he? None other than DTM Masood Said. As I started my journey, I got a lot of advices from him. He has been a true embodiment of what Toastmaster teaches us. The 4 values and the motto, where leaders are made. I'm going to share a very important story. I was delivering fifth project. It was about vocal variety, and I chose a very dry subject. And who was my evaluator? DTM Masood Said. And I remember that today. After my speech, before the evaluation, he asked me, should I give a blunt evaluation or the conventional sandwiched approach? I said, it doesn't matter. Give me a blunt one. And guess what? He did. But that true, blunt, and to the point evaluation helped me a great deal. And I just grasped those words of advice that always stick to the objectives. So I always, whenever I had to prepare a speech and I had to deliver it, I always brought that words of him in my mind, that am I prepared? If I'm not,
यार मैं ऐसे कर रहा हूँ, इसको मैं रख दूँ वहाँ पे, इसको मैं रख दूँ। हाँ, ये ना आप यहाँ आ जाइए, इसको मैं यहाँ रखेंगे, इधर रखेंगे। एक मिनट।
welcome back, my friends. This is going to be the most fun part of the meeting, which is known as the table topic section. As we call it, you do feel buddy, to think on the spot. And this session will be hosted by another than DTM Atif Irfan.
So comes the session which was most awaited. Am I right, sir?
Long way. Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay. So who is going to volunteer? The first volunteer who would like to come. Okay, please welcome. What's your good name? Okay, so tell us very quickly about you so that I can raise a question for you from the information you give to people. So tell us about a little bit about yourself.
Sure, I'm an HR director and I'm working for the military at the moment. I have a span of 14 years. I grew up in Canada. I came to Pakistan in 2008. Since then I've been here and I've been working. So that's pretty much it. I'm a corporate HR trainer, by the way.
Okay, so you are working with the military?
Yes, I am.
So you have to tell us that what is your experience of working with military? And what are the common perceptions? Are they correct or are they incorrect? Don't worry, there is no military person.
I am.
We are all spies.
Side being is guys.
It's your target. So can you talk about it?
Sure, I can.
Great.
Thank
So
you.
your time starts now.
I'll be very quick in telling you about it. When I first started, I was working for the DFID program, Pakistan, in the DFIE program, which is Department of Foreign International Development, UK embassy, since I came to Pakistan. And while I was working, the Corps Commander at that time, Lahore, was serving my father in 1971 war. And since my dad was in the military as well, he has fought 2 wars for Pakistan. As being the only son, when I started off, he told me, why don't you work for DHA Lahore? And I started off with DHA. Now, when I was sitting in my interview and the Corps Commander was sitting there, the first question they asked me, since I'm a human resource trainer and a motivational trainer at the moment as well, so he said, okay, Ali, this is HR, this is not HR. So you have to convert the entire thing into HR. And I said, sir, who's my boss? So I was being hired as the additional director of human resources. And he said, this guy. And he pointed the finger and I said, what's his name? He said, his name is Colonel XYZ. And I said, sir, he's a colonel in the military. So what does this green mean?
First.
Oh, Acha, sure, okay. Sorry, I didn't know the flow of this. This is my first time. So anyhow, I started off, but the only thing, like sir asked me, the pros and cons. The pros and cons, I'd say, working with the military, the army people have a one-track mind. They just want to hear a yes or no. They're not interested in stories. So that's pretty much it. So far, it's a great experience. I love it. I love working here in Pakistan. Very diverse, very cultural people, I must say. I've been training students all over LUMS, University of Lahore, the Lahore School of Economics as well. It's great so far. I love it. I love my job. So far, so good.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's how people cover things. They don't want to tell us much about that. Yeah, well done, sir. Well done. Really appreciate it. So who is going to come next? Anyone from the ladies' side? Would you like to come? Okay. You can talk as per your convenience in Urdu, English, or any language known to the people here, right? And your time is 42 minutes with a grace period of 15 seconds or 30 seconds. 15 seconds. Okay, so your topic. So you are here for third time or second time?
Second time.
Second time. Okay. So you have to tell us what you like most in this class. You have to talk about everything going on, but the most precious thing that you found from here.
That is motivation.
Okay, so you have to talk about what you got from here. The time is 1 to 2 minutes and it starts now.
जब मैंने फर्स्ट टाइम ये क्लब ज्वाइन किया तो सबसे जो अच्छी चीज़ लगी आप सबका पॉजिटिव बिहेवियर था जिसने मुझे बहुत इंस्पायर किया और तभी मैंने सोच लिया था कि रोमाना तुम सेकंड टाइम जरूर जाओगी एंड तभी से मैंने माइंड बना लिया था और जो सेकंड चीज़ मुझे यहाँ की सबसे बेस्ट लगी क्योंकि मैं एक स्टैंडर्ड हूँ सो मुझे लोगों को फेस करना थोड़ा नहीं बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल लगता है मुझे तो यहाँ आके मैंने अब ये देखा कि एक स्टैंडर्ड होने के नाते कोई आपका मजाक नहीं उड़ाता कोई आपको जज नहीं करता इनफैक्ट अगर आप स्टैंडर्ड करते हैं तो आपकी जो ऑडियंस है वो आपको मोटिवेट करती है और इसके अलावा जो चीज़ मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा अच्छी लगी, मेरा मेन फोकस है कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स पे काम करना, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स को इम्प्रूव करना। बेसिकली मेरी जो मदर लैंग्वेज है वो है पश्तो, लेकिन मैं पश्तो को एक फ्लो के साथ आई कांट स्पीक, जो मैं सिर्फ उर्दू लैंग्वेज अच्छे से बोल लेती हूँ। इसके अलावा पश्तो, इंग्लिश और भी जो भी लैंग्वेजेस मैं इतनी फ्लुएंट के साथ नहीं बोल सकती। तो मेरा मेन फोकस है कि मैं पश्तो एंड इंग्लिश दोनों में फ्लुएंट हो जाऊँ, लेकिन आई थिंक यहाँ पश्तो मुझे फ्लुएंट नहीं हो सकती क्योंकि यहाँ पे कोई भी नहीं बोलता पश्तो, बट होप सो इंग्लिश में। Okay, that's great.
हम नहीं भागे।
ओके, स्टार्ट करें फिर। ओके, स्टार्टिंग मार्शिट सिंगर चलिए। मैं कुछ
That's a probeer her speech going. Yeah.
फर्क क्या हुआ है?
बिल्कुल.
मना।
Thank you very much. One last thing you have to say. I love Stammer Talk Speakers Toastmasters Club in Pashto.
The Stammer. मुझे stammering होती है।
So as long as you are here, there will be no stammering, we tell you, because we are your energy.
Yeah, no doubt.
We give you energy. So that's why there will be no stammering as long as you
Yes, we are.
agreed. Great. Excellent. Okay, so who is going to come next? Sir, please come. Go ahead, please. And
My name is
introduction.
Shaukat Hussain, and I've earlier introduced. My name is Shaukat Hussain, and I'm working here. I'm a civil engineer working here in a public utility company.
Okay. So let me ask you a question about a public utility company.
Yeah.
So my wife told me to cook some food for her
Yeah.
because she doesn't like to cook.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went to the kitchen and I just tried to put on the gas.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And there was no gas.
Yeah.
There was no natural gas. It's a natural gas, but there was no natural gas. So you have to tell me that what should I do? How to cook food without such great facility provided by government of Pakistan.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you talk about this topic? Must be very close to your heart.
Yeah, it's because I'm working here.
Okay, so
the
fine,
public
sir.
utility company is the gas company in which I'm working.
Okay.
And first of all, I would, before starting that, I would beg to differ with a little bit with Toastmaster Masood Said Sahab, because he told that he's an old man because we consider him as a young boy. And logically I'll prove it like this, that I was having a walk in Denmark at the Ama, and I was lazily walking that I'm approaching my 50 and lazily walking, and certainly a man crossed me, he was over 80. And it really stimulated me. And I walked and walked and walked. And I walked for so much that in the whole year, I have not walked in Pakistan up to that time. And the topic which you gave me of the gas, it is that the quantity of gas, that is the same. But its utility, it is enhanced in winters. You use the geyser, you use the heaters, and that is because the gas is the same and it is not provided then perfectly. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. Sorry to apology, that's for the government department. departments do, they talk about different things and then they talk a little bit about the real topic. Okay, so who is coming next? Okay, please come forward. Your good name and brief introduction, and then
my name is Imran Iqbal. I'm a software engineer. I'm also a member of Rotary Foundation. It's a worldwide club. It's doing projects for betterment of humanity. They are doing some projects of charity and helping people to improve their lives. I'm also a member of Yoga Club, the wonderful club. I also have study problem. I have improved. I am constantly improving.
Okay. So now my question. Now it's my turn.
Sure.
So you have to tell us how yoga can help stammerers to remove their disability or improve the situation. So do you think it can work? Yes. So great. So your time starts now.
Yoga is a versatile exercise. Yoga have different postures. Basically, yoga can be divided into two broad categories. One is postures. You do different postures to improve your to improve flexibility in your body, in your mind. Secondly, there are breathing exercises. There are different breathing exercises done in yoga, and basically stammerers. One common thing among stammerers is they lose breathing. They are short of breath. So by doing breathing exercises, they improve their lungs. They improve oxygen intake, and by improving the oxygen intake in the body, functionality of the body is improved, and ultimately your mind, your speech organs work better. So I have recently I met with Ahmed Bhai, and we have organized a yoga event in this coming week on Thursday. Our event is at Chowk Chowk, near Akbar Chowk, and timings are from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And our very expert trainers of yoga, Azam Saab and Mia Shoga Saab, they have been doing yoga from 7-8 years, and they will be training. And the topic basically indeed is stress management, anxiety management, and particularly it's for stammerers. So I request all stammerers to please join there, and also other people can also join. So just one last thing I want to tell. There are around 50 centers in Lahore only where yoga is being done free of cost. I request all of you to please come forward, please join us to improve your life. Thank you.
May I add something if you allow?
Okay, we are going to take comments, but if you want to do it right now.
I'm also the member of that club, and doing yoga is such an amazing thing that I used to wear such a big glasses. Now I don't
control of.
Oh, sure. That would be phenomenal. Yes. I've been doing yoga for the past 6 months, and alhamdulillah, I used to wear glasses, but I don't wear glasses now. I can see majority of the things. I can read the board, I can write. Only while driving I use it. Only while driving. So it's a very phenomenal thing, and I would recommend that you search about it.
Okay, thank you very much. Please have your seat.
I have also been doing yoga for the last 3 years.
Wow.
Every day.
You have. Okay, so I think, ma'am, I will request you to come forward, because it's a tradition that we call upon all the ladies in the building. And those two ladies behind you, they are also supposed to come forward. Please come forward. Yeah, please come forward, beta. Please come forward. So this is a very interesting topic that is going to be discussed here. You guys. Dialogue. Okay. come here, come forward. Don't worry. Nothing is going to happen. Come forward, I'm afraid. Okay. So, whatever you want to talk about, I mean English, Urdu, or whatever you are convenient. I'm sure you can speak in English, but if you want to switch your gear and come to Urdu, that is also fine. Okay? So you have to tell us. You have to start scolding with your sister. And then your mom will interrupt. And then your sister, this happens every day in every week. I know. So it's not a difficult thing. Okay, so you have to scold, and your mother has to interrupt, and then you have to argue, and this show will go on for 2 to 3 minutes. Right? 1 to 2 minutes. Okay? So it's a short version of that fight that goes on. Yeah. So should I start the time?
She just wants to change the topic, if that's okay.
Is it okay?
Because
It's not okay.
never happened in their life.
Okay.
We are more like partners in crime, so it's a bit difficult.
And Papa is sitting here.
Part of everyone.
Okay, let me help her. So you don't have to talk much. She will start talking, you will just scold and she will interrupt. So you are a very good guy, you are a very good girl, so you will not say anything to her, you will just listen like this. Okay. So will it be okay? Yeah. Yeah, so
She's younger than
don't worry. So be yourself for a minute, don't worry. So your time starts now. Yeah.
I want to watch it.
Your turn.
I want to watch Barbie. No, we're gonna watch a game.
Oh, good.
No, Barbie. Barbie is for kids. You're a kid. You're a kid. You're watching Barbie. You're a kid. We're playing a game. No.
You know what? She's actually come to BL. Do you think maybe she can talk for like 30 seconds, her experience, and she goes to a different campus, and I can maybe say something about the new job that I've started.
Okay, so you
That
two
would
guys,
make
I don't worry, I will frame a question for you. Don't worry about that. So you two guys, please have your seat. Thank you very much.
Very good.
You told me that you disappeared a few years back. So it means that you know how to appear and disappear. Am I right? So you have to tell you that you disappeared, no one could see you, and how you spent one day of your life during that disappearance. Invisible. No one can see you and you are disappeared. You can go anywhere, you can do anything, and nobody is going to see you. Tell us about one day of your life in that condition. Yes, that's right. Because you told us that you disappeared. So that's fine.
You know what the reason why I disappeared maybe was because I was always reluctant to come and speak here for the table topics, and I was always caught up standing here and saying something, and this actually doesn't come to me very naturally. So maybe that's why I kind of disappeared.
So that's what it happens. So your time starts now.
Okay.
She will disappear again.
I'll disappear. Okay. Just assuming that I've got this power of maybe just being invisible for one day, I think I would follow my husband around and see what he does. Because he's got this habit of actually staying out of home for long hours. Mid of the around 12 or sometimes at 1 a.m. he says suddenly that Aisha, I'm going for a haircut. So, and he comes back after 2 hours. I mean, 100% I trust him. But if I've got that power, I would love to follow him, see him where he goes. If he says that I'm with friends, I know he is with friends, but I need to know who those friends are, whether they are males or females. He does have lots of friends, girlfriends, and not girlfriends, he's got lady friends as well. So I would want to roam around and see what he does, where he goes out, has coffee with. And another habit that he has, that all of a sudden he'll disappear and say that if I call him, where are you? My friend was outside, so we've gone out for coffee. So I would just want to follow and see where he goes for that coffee. So that is something that I would love to do if I have that invisible power for one day.
Okay, thank you.
You have more
I'm so sad.
I'm happy she doesn't have that power.
वो क्रिसमस अभी गली है ना सेंटर से विश
She can use Google Street View. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, do we have more time? I request the timer to please tell me. Oh yeah, we had. Okay, so the timer is requested to present the report.
Thank you very much, DTM Atik Irfan. For today's table topic session, there were 6 speeches. The first speech was delivered by Sayyid Ali Haider. He consumed 1 minute and 57 seconds. He is qualified for.
Please raise your hand when your name is called.
Ali Haider. The second speech was delivered by Toastmaster Romana. He took 2 minutes and 9 seconds. She is also qualified. The third speech was delivered by Shokat Hussain. He consumed 1 minute and 30 seconds. He is also qualified. Fourth speech was delivered by Toastmaster Imran Iqbal.
Yes.
He took 2 minutes and 15 seconds by taking the privilege of 15 seconds grace period. He is also qualified. Then 2 young sisters, Maheen and Maruf. Iman. They took 1 minute and 15 seconds. They are also qualified. And then respected Toastmaster Aisha, she took 1 minute and 17 seconds. She is also qualified for the voting. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. You have to vote for the person you believe was the best among these speakers. Just tear off the one of those masks. If you believe that you are the best, you can vote for this. Okay, meanwhile, the votes are being collected. I'll request the general evaluator to please come forward and start the third session, which is evaluation session. Welcome Toastmasters Noor Ahmed Khan.
Thank you so much. Well, Toastmasters guests, this is the last segment where experienced Toastmasters will evaluate the prepared speeches. Where is the data? So the first speaker was DTM Masood, and his speech was evaluated by Toastmaster Zishan. So please welcome Toastmaster Zishan for the evaluation.
Thank you very much, Toastmasters. I found evaluations the toughest part of any Toastmasters meeting. And evaluating your mentor is more difficult. And evaluating the mentor of your mentor, you can imagine how difficult it is. DTM Atif Irfan is my mentor, and DTM Masood Said is his mentor. So it is quite difficult to evaluate. It's not judgment about him. It's only my own evaluation, or own thinking about how we can learn from him, how we can he can be helpful for us to improve our projects. So I found that the speech delivered by DTM Masood Said was very well structured. Although he has completed his DTM path already, but he is again going to the same circle of attaining that DTM ship. And this was his first project, and the objective of his project was to learn the basic structure of a public speech, and he delivered it quite well. I believe that he was quite comfortable with the audience. He has engaged the audience with the comic that he was born, and he was fed a lot, and he was a heavyweight kid. By now I don't understand how in the past you could be a heavyweight, because you have maintained yourself so well that we cannot imagine that he could be a heavyweight kid in the past. And one our friend told he referred you as a young boy, so we still say that you are a young boy, and we feel so much privileged to be having you in our club as a member as well as the mentor. You shared your tragic incident of your life when your father died, and that was so much heart touching to us, because we can relate how everybody is so much attached to their parents, especially mother and father, how much they are attached to them, so we can well relate it. Only my humble submission is that you could have worked more on the strength of your voice, because I believe that the strength was little less. This is only my humble submission, that keeping in view the number of audience, that the voice could be little louder and little stronger. So we have, I have nothing else to comment. I learned a lot from your project, and I wish you a good luck in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bishan, for very up to the point evaluation of speech delivered by DTM Masood. The next speaker was Toastmaster Sabiullah, and the speech was evaluated by Toastmaster Abdullah.
It was Tahir.
Tahir.
Tahir, yes.
Okay. Toastmaster Tahir.
Yes.
And welcome Toastmaster Abdullah for the evaluation.
First of all, I would like to congratulate Tahir for starting his journey of public speaking. Give him a huge round of applause. Being a stammerer, and myself a stammerer, I could understand it's hard to face people, to come here on the stage and speak in front of people, because traveling through that place till here, there's 20 steps. This is the real hard thing, and you have done that. So congratulations for that. And after that, the thing is to come here and to talk about yourself, and you have done that very successfully. And you have described yourself, about your life, your own experience, your hobbies, and in the last you have shared your aims. So that was a very nice icebreaker to connect with people. But there are a few things you have to work on, because this is a journey of public speaking that you have started. So these are my few humble submissions. So first of all, when you come on the stage, you have to maintain your body language. So when you are standing, you have to take a firm stance. And the second thing is about the use of hands. You can move your hands when you're talking, and the best position, if you're not using, you can keep your hands here like this. And the third thing you have to work up with is about the eye contact. When you're talking, you have to move, see around people, and you have to keep the eye contact at times. And the last thing is the vocal variety. So this is a new beginning for you, and I wish you best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. The next speaker was Toastmaster Mustafa, and the speech was evaluated by DTM Atif. So please welcome DTM Atif.
Toastmaster Mustafa, I really want to congratulate you in advance, because you are going to be a DTM very soon. So it's 40 projects are required to be a DTM, and I believe that you have all the ability to be a DTM and teach others in this area. So far as your speech is concerned for today, what was the objective? You had to start from a point in your personal life, and then you had to develop a story and reach a climax, develop the characters, and you had to take us to that scenario about which you were talking about. So that was the objective. This is for the knowledge of the audience. Starting of the story, that was very interesting, because it's always touching when we talk about our profession and then how we started, what were the hurdles, what were the great things we experienced, and what were the areas where we felt hardships. So you talked about that very well. You started with that. And then you developed some characters. And I would say that the characters were very, of course they were real characters, and we could feel them, feel their feelings. But how to project them in front of the audience, that I would say could have been better. Like you talked about your mom and other people. So the dialogues could also play a vital role, add value to your speech. Like if you could talk from the side of your mom and say something, some interesting dialogue, something that you remember, that could make it more real for us. So that was, I was waiting for that you were going to do something. And then, there was a very important part, that to picture the characters. That is very important in storytelling. So when you talk about some character, something who was sitting there, who was going to talk, so you have to picturize that. That my mom stepped forward and said, you need to do it. I want this from you. I want you to be a chartered accountant, or whatever you want to say. So such things, when you say that and you do some meaningful movements and these things, so it looks like a more professional storyteller. And that's what Toastmaster is teaching us all. So I was expecting a few things. Otherwise, I would say that your vocal variety, your expression was excellent, I would say. It was really excellent. The way you started and the selection of words, wow. Really wow. They were excellent. Your vocal variety was good, but for storytelling, I would say that something could have been more. Some expressions could be added for that. Otherwise, overall, it was a great project, and we were just next to you, because whatever was happening and you were telling us about that, we were just feeling that we are next to you. So it was a great project. Your effort is really commended. Thank you very much.
Thank you. DTM Atif. The last speech was delivered by about to be a DTM, Toastmaster Ali Amjad. And the speech will be evaluated by DTM Iftikhar Taj. Please give a warm welcome, DTM Iftikhar Taj.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Evaluation is all about personal opinion of the evaluator about the delivery of the speech, not about the content or anything like that. This project is very, very important project for any Toastmaster. I generally say that even DTM is not Toastmasters most of the time, because Toastmaster means who can deliver a short speech for some occasion or a person. If we can do that, we are Toastmasters, otherwise we are just speakers. Your project was wonderful. You chose a very good topic, a person instead of occasion. That's easy to do that and to honor somebody. Objectives were very simple, two objectives. One, recognize the characteristics of a toast. Not this toast, not this toast, but short speech. That was the first objective. Second objective was present a toast honoring a person or occasion. You chose a person. It was easy to toast for that person. You had the confidence to come here, to stand here, to look into eyes of certain people. But this might have been improved a lot. There was a room. Vocal variety, it was kind of mono, that must have variations to honor a person. Enthusiasm was a must in this project. Your passion, your energy, and your voice, in selection of words, and maintaining eye-to-eye contact. Like if I was in your place, I would say, today I feel honored because I am standing here to propose a toast for mentor of the mentors, DTM Masood Said. Let me tell you about him, what he has achieved over life and how he has impacted our lives. So that might have been the start of the story. Secondly, eye-to-eye contact was not that great. It should have been with all the audience. Because you were proposing to us in his honor, but to tell all us about him. That was an important area. It's very, very important characteristic of a toast that you should not be speaking about yourself, but only about the other person. It's his evening, not my evening as a toaster. It's his evening. That was very, very important. You mentioned about you took about 1 minute about you, and you took about 30 seconds about the clubs. That is not the subject. It's only one subject, only one topic. DTM Masood Said, mentor of the mentors. Sir.
DTM Iftikhar Taj for an oasis of enlightenment that you shared. Have a round of applause. Now I would request the timer.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. There were 5 evaluation speeches. The first evaluation was done by myself. I took 2 minutes and 55 seconds, so I am qualified for the voting. The second evaluation speech was delivered by Toastmaster Abdullah. Where is he? He took 2 minutes and 44 seconds. He is also qualified for the voting. Third evaluation was done by DTM Atif Irfan Sheikh, and he took 3 minutes and 10 seconds. He is also qualified for the voting. The last evaluation was done by DTM ITM Iftikhar Taj Mian. He took 3 minutes and 26 seconds, so he is also qualified for the voting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shan, for the report. So please vote for the best evaluator that you think. Yes, my vote. So, Toastmaster, it's time to give my report now. Did we start on time? No. Okay, for the first, most of the Toastmasters reached very well in time. And for the first half an hour, we talked about our own experiences downstairs, waiting in the lobby, and few have suggested to start a bonfire Toastmaster outside in the ground. And then finally, we were here. They allowed us to enter into the building, and again, then we waited for another 20 minutes for the president to come. So I fear that soon Ravi Toastmaster will take over this club. So I would suggest the president and the members of Stammer Talk Toastmaster Club to be mindful.
Inshallah.
And be
next time.
Next time. Because it's very important for all of us. It's Sunday. Weather is harsh. We waited.
That's true.
So this is my humble request to everyone. Right?
Yes.
Okay, now the next thing is the banner was just placed. The room temperature, the ambience was excellent, and especially the participants, the number of participants is great, or really encouraging. On Sunday, we have a lot of pressure on us, but we are here. So a round of applause for everyone. So with this, I will. Yes, I will take your feedback at the end. So for the reports, I will call upon the grammarian to please come forward and give the report.
Thank you so much for the What was the word of the day? Tenacity. So we can work on that. It was used 2 to 3 times, but we can work on that. And I suggest that next time we may place it here so that everyone can view it. Second thing was the use of grammar. It was good. Since we are not native speakers of English, it was phenomenal to hear such good words, especially from Toastmaster Mustafa. It was the choice of words so descriptive, so melodious. And that's all from my side. Back to the
Now we'll call the accountant, Toastmaster Romana. Please welcome.
आपने 3 times voice आपकी यूज हुई है during conversation और
And he's not a stammerer.
Yeah, he's not a stammerer exactly. और उसके बाद है ताहिर ने 15 times की साउंड प्रोड्यूस किया है और उसके देन है अली हैदर 25 times और सबसे ज्यादा जिन्होंने आर्ट किया है वो सर अहमद अब्दुल्ला
Very interesting report by Toastmaster. was the. Oh yeah, it's the end. Okay, now we'll hand the charge back to the Toastmaster of the meeting.
Now we have the three sessions now have been held. The first was the prepared speeches, and second one was the table topic speaker session, and third was the evaluation. And now I would like to invite the vote counter to come here and present his report.
So do I have to summon someone else to present that vote? Because I believe they should be summoned.
Certificates.
Yes, I will.
So there it will be decided by presiding officer. Still, you can. Meanwhile, the certificates are being written. You can ask for the comments of.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for coming here today. This was a amazing session. Thank you for being here and participate in the Stammer Talk Speakers session. And we have one participant who came from Peshawar to specially attend this event. And share his today's experience, please.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Admatullah Adil, and I am from Peshawar. When ago I talked to Mr. Ahmed Abdullah that I am interested to join the
Stammer Talk speaker.
Stammer Talk speaker. So in the morning I almost I think it was at 8 a.m. When I came out from my home, but then I got too much late to arrive here. Somehow I tried my best to be here on time, but I could not manage the time. So I hope that next time, if there will be any session, even I will participate. And on the other hand, I would like to mention that I took speech therapy for 2 years from University of Punjab, and that helped me a lot. I was not like this before. I still have problems, but I was not like this before. So I think these one have to participate in such events in order to improve his speaking abilities. What I know from my teachers that impossible say it's certain I am possible. So I'm here, and in the next session I will try to participate again. Thank you.
So that's the
Abdullah, now we want to just hear about him more.
Sure.
Who is he? If he can introduce himself.
Sure, please.
As I said, my name is Admatullah Adil. I did LLB from University of Punjab, and I'm a educated by profession, and currently I'm preparing for CSS exam. And in February 2020, I will attempt to pass this CSS exam. But after that, I think if I qualify the interview session, the interviews of competitive exams, there I know that I have to work on my speaking abilities. So everyone has dreams in life, but if someone admits that I have some particular weakness and do not try to overcome, so I think he is not going to be successful in life. One must struggle and try to make their weak, to transform their weakness into strength. And I'm working on such a project, you can say.
Something that doesn't kill you, that will make you stronger. To fight with your fears, with your doubts, is the main thing. If you could fight with them and you can conquer your fears, you can do anything in life. So, thank you everyone for coming here today. Anyone else would like to share something or comment something, please? Yes, please.
Assalamualaikum ji, once again. I would like to add a few things. Basically, this is not my first time coming in Toastmasters. I grew up in Canada. I did not tell you this. I was there for 15 years of my life from a very prime age. I went high school there, college, and then university there. Now, when this Toastmasters Club just started in Canada, I was one of the founding members of the Toastmasters. And one of the main reasons I was telling Toastmaster Abdullah that over the years, in my human resources, being a professional, we have learned one thing, and this is not related to Toastmasters, but this is overall what I'm going to add for the club that we have here in Lahore, Pakistan, that we should add in our daily lives. You know, I have seen people, I've seen brigadiers, I've seen directors standing, I have seen managers, line managers, senior managers even standing, and they can't even present when it comes to board meetings, presentations, and they can't do that. Their legs shake like this, their hands shake like this, they stammer. One thing that you need to learn, my friends, is something very important that I'm going to add here. Not everybody is important. You know, when you're talking and you have a large audience, right? I'm sorry, I'm going to also add Urdu here. Just now, Toastmaster Abdullah ne bataya that you have to move, you have to have an eye contact with everybody. One thing I was adding while we were on the coffee break, I added to Toastmaster Abdullah, the one thing we need to learn is to add humor in our conversation, and that is very important. मैंने यहाँ पे देखा है corporate तो नहीं, अलबत्ता professional business conversations के अंदर a lot of people add humor, but वो जरा थोड़ा basic humor होता है. Don't mind me saying that, but that humor is a bit vulgar, my friends. You have to add a basic corporate humor. You have to have a distance. मैं जब आया ना, तो somebody was shaking my hand, and the entire 20 minutes हाथ ही पकड़ा. तो मैंने उनको कहा, सर मुझे पता है आपको मेरा हाथ बहुत पसंद आया, मगर बात ये है कि you can also have a distance and then you can also talk to me. That's fine. You know, I do understand कि शायद वो नर्म मुलायम आपको हाथ लग रहा हो, मगर बात ये है कि we have to have a business communication skills added in our conversations as well, and we need to have a humor and a smile. मैंने अभी टोस्टमास्टर अब्दुल्ला को बताया कि जब आप स्माइल रखते हैं ना, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में, कनाडा में और यूरोप और ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, आपको पता है कि एम्पैथी स्टेटमेंट हैज फेल्ड. You never call somebody and you say, sir, I know how you feel. No, you don't know how I feel. Trust me. 3 महीने मेरा BTCL का फोन खराब था, मैंने किया वहां पे एक लड़की, अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर, कैन आई हेल्प यू सर? वो जी मेरा फोन 3 महीने से खराब है, 15 कॉल्स कर चुका हूँ, मेरा फोन नहीं। सर मुझे पता है आप किस अजियत से गुजर रहे होंगे, लेकिन आपको नहीं पता मैं किस अजियत से गुजर रहा हूँ, ट्रस्ट में। सो यू नो यू डोंट कॉल। अच्छी बात है, आप एम्पैथी स्टेटमेंट्स करें। पाकिस्तान अभी बहुत पीछे है उस चीज से, उस कॉन्वर्सेशनल आर्ट से बहुत पीछे है जो यूरोप, अमेरिका और ऑस्ट्रेलिया में, यूके में है। हमको ये बात समझनी होगी कि हमको एक वोकल वैरायटी, जिस तरह सर आपने बताया, कॉन्वर्सेशन, यू हैव टू मूव अराउंड, यू हैव टू एंगेज विद पीपल। You can't be standing like a robot and जी this is what नहीं, ये नहीं होता। You have to be very clear with the audience, eye contact, movement, smile, no frowns, no, nothing like that. So this is all I wanted to add, and I hope it helps every one of you. Thank you.
For the valuable input. So in our life, the thing missing is appreciation. That we don't tell ourselves that we have done something good or well done. So after attending this event, you came here, you spent some time here, you learned something new. You have done something here, this speech, or in the table topics, or even not doing something. You just sit and watch and you learn a new thing. So for this effort, for this evening, let's make a round of huge applause for ourselves. And second applause for the stammers that came here, and especially the ones who came on the stage and they have presented themselves. We have Ismat from Peshawar, we have Tahir, we have Romana, and we have more stammers that they don't feel the courage to come here, but still they are here. So to make a huge applause for all the Thank you, everyone. Now it's time for the awards. So to present awards to start with, I would like to call the votes counter to come here, and the journal Yes.
So the best prepared speaker award goes to Toastmaster Mustafa.
Can you take pictures? Thank you.
Smile, please.
Sharia, can you just come?
Yes.
Perfect. So the best table topic speaker award goes to Toastmaster Aisha. And the best evaluator award goes to Toastmaster Iftikhar Taj.
आप फ्रेम में आए थोड़ा छोटा है नहीं आगे थैंक यू
So the next meeting will be on Sunday, 5th of January, here at 6 p.m. So please do come here next time. And the second thing, I would like to ask that Stammer Talk speakers, it's in the development stage. So we do need members. At the moment, we have around 5 members. So you people came here and you have experience here. So the people who have came here as guests, we should join here and
I'd like to comment.
Yes, please.
You know, it's wonderful experience coming here, and particularly when I see many speakers and role players from multiple clubs, that adds to everything. And after listening to Asmat, who was coming from Shah,